In this internet world where content is being downloaded and mashed up and uploaded, what are the challenges for you guys in terms of copyright protection? How do you go about protecting your copyright and also enjoying, if you will, the business opportunities that are coming to bear?
There's several things going on. First of all, there's a whole bunch of new ways for people to interact with content, and that's very exciting for us. The extent that people engage more in the things that we make, the things that we produce. People are more interested in Jon Stewart or MTV Networks or MTV's programming. That's all good for us. And so now that people can share it with their friends, mash it up, change it, interact with it in new ways, have deeper experiences than just the television experience by having, blogs and games and all kinds of other technology-enabled experiences. That's great. That just makes the works that we do more valuable to customers, and therefore it's a terrific business opportunity. At the same time, technology poses this threat, which you identified, which is that it makes it so much easier to, without adding anything, but just take the exact copy of what you produced and make it available freely, that it's a challenge to be able to limit and control the use of your work in a way that allows you to monetize it and it enables you to bring the customer to your door so that you can do things with them, as opposed to having them, in a totally unlicensed, free way, interact with it some other way.
Could you explain what fair use means and what fair use means in the context of online video?
I mean, to begin with, fair use was a concept, is a concept as written in the copyright law, that had to do with using a copyrighted expression for a different purpose than it was originally intended to use. So it wasn't about, can I use a song on a different device in a different place? It was, can I refer to, by taking a piece of, can you write a song like My Bologna, based on My Sharona, which is a parody. It clearly takes from that work but makes it something different and transforms it. The factors of fair use talk about what the nature of the work. Is it commercial or is it not commercial? Is it being used for criticism? Is it being used for purposes of creating a parody or for purposes of creating something new and different that doesn't really affect the value of the rights to the original person? In that sense, what we're most concerned about is at least in the non-commercial sharing world, are people who are taking exact copies of works and simply making them available for free. Whether it's a clip of a work or an entire work, is it on television? Is it on a clip sharing service like YouTube? Is it on various other services, peer-to-peer network services, where people aren't adding anything, they're not parodying anything, they're not creating something new, and they're not criticizing it. They're simply taking a song or a television show or a movie and making it available to thousands or millions of people for free. And so there's nothing fair use about that. There's nothing transformative about it, and there's no value creation out of that. It's just value destroying. In the Sony Betamax case, people remember the great VCR case, the Supreme Court began to talk about a different kind of fair use, which was an ability to use the whole work for a private, limited purpose, in that case time shifting. And that was based on a whole bunch of different factors, but it's a very narrow kind of unusual carve-out in the concept of fair use. And I think where that line of cases will go, not quite sure. There's not really that much law on that line of cases. But at the end of the day, we think that in most areas where people are using an exact copy of the work, where it's substituting for buying a copy of the work, and where the technology is in a place where that could be done on a licensed basis, that most of those uses are not fair use, and that most of those uses are things which can be licensed and therefore should be done on a licensed basis. Now, as an industry, that puts some pressure on us to try to make some of these licensed uses available, to do it in a productive way so that we can capture some of this value and give our customers what the demand requires. And so that's been the challenge.